against the Virtus.Pro.
All right, so we're inside of the draft. VP taking on Alliance. Normally we would have a longer introduction to this particular game, but again, the EG Navi game ran a bit long. Very exciting, worth it in my opinion, to have a little bit of a shorter segue into game number 2 of the day. But I'm looking forward to this primarily because seeing Alliance play, maybe not on their best, I think we can both say. Well, all three of us could agree on that. Sorry, I was actually talking to Pyrian and myself, not Bruno, because
Bruno was looking at his tablet.
Bruno's the guy who does everything. So, like in the beginning of the draft, I'm more or less addressing just Pyrian for the time being.
Andy, how much of that do you think was down? I mean, I think EG played brilliantly in that game. I really do. But I think Alliance did everything that they could. They looked pretty good to me. I didn't see any massive mistakes from them. Do you think that they were just outdrafted?
The biggest thing with their composition was this: when you open a fight with Chakram or something like that, you want to burst the hero straight away. You don't want to give him an opportunity to survive. And in one of the replays, we had a chance to see heroes like Jo. He was playing Naga Siren. He lived for such a long time, and he even broke the track with Mirror Image, forced S4 to pursue him to ensure that they got the kill, and then continue to fight. When stuff like that happens, the longer you draw out a team fight, the more opportunities the other team is going to have to try to capitalize on mistakes. And I say the word, but I had to because I couldn't think of any other way to phrase it at that point in time. My brain was drawing nothing. Yeah, right. So you have to take into account those kinds of things. And when you have big AoE team fight wombo combos like EG have with a great carry to back it up, Bruno was right when he said the ease of execution is a little bit easier.
I think it was right as well what James was saying about Night Stalker, because he's chaseable. You want to chase him. He runs up to you, he's huge, wings, cast annoying spells on you, but you can't catch him. And there's the nets. I mean, Naga Siren's nets are ridiculously good at stopping someone.
Yeah, and Alliance is going now for something entirely different. Wasn't that a show? Now for something entirely... Yeah, Monty Python.
Now for something completely different.
For something completely different.
That was their segue.
Yep. So, Batrider and Weaver, two heroes that we haven't seen in the previous game so far. Batrider now, 10 damage nerf, still a very useful hero. Not maybe first ban, first pick as before. Clearly first pick for Alliance.
An S4 key hero
is Batrider.
But it's S4's Batrider. And how do you feel this hero is right now as we're standing in Sec 79? Is it still a really strong hero you have to be careful of? Or is it just like a nuisance more than a pain?
I don't think that the laning phase nerf hurts him that much, because he's still a great flash farmer, right? Like, say you don't do amazing in your lane and you're mid against like maybe a Queen of Pain or an OD, you don't have a spectacular start. Okay, so you have a safe lane, tri lane who's stacking the jungle for you, you still get your blink at like 9 or 10 minutes, no problem. So if we just ignore the laning phase, he's still the same hero. Like, his auto attack damage isn't going to break his mechanics. It's not going to make him suddenly not an awesome initiator. It's not going to make him not great against heroes like Lifestealer, because you can stop him from doing damage or just pull him horrendously out of position, and then he gets really sad.
And he's good for chasing with the goop as well, isn't he? Goops people up.
Absolutely.
Good chase.
The sticky icky, as what Brax would call it.
In the old sticky icky.
But yeah, I still think he's more or less just as good as he used to be. The laning phase nerf kind of hurts when you put him in the off lane, because it's a bit harder to control runes and things like that. You're not going to get the regen and be able to spam napalm as much, which can help. So in that situation, I feel like he is nerfed, but
that's a balance. I mean, he was so strong before. You can't have him have everything.
For a year, even. Because that hero was first ban, first pick for an entire year.
It was funny, though, because he used to be never picked.
Yes.
And never banned.
Yes.
And then they took his strength gain to 2.8.
Yeah, but also at the same time, they fixed a lot of bugs that were in the game compared to Dota 1. The napalm wasn't working the way it did. Actually, the napalm still isn't working as powerful as in Dota 1, because in Dota 1, you can pop napalm on an invisible hero, and you see the number on top of him. So you can actually go and see where the hero is.
3, man.
Warcraft 3, too strong. They nerfed that out.
Speaking of heroes not getting banned, Lich is still like the #1 or 2 ban. It just cracks me up.
I think that hero might be a little bit overrated.
Maybe.
A little bit. Maybe not just like... I'm not saying the hero is useless, but I don't think it will be first ban for a long time.
I think it's because if you give it to a really good team, it's easy for them to have a support that suddenly can keep up. Like, that's the problem you see. If you've got to play the 5 for a pro team, you have to be so completely selfless that if it starts to get out of the hand, you can find yourself really far behind. I think you see that quite often, like the number 5 just with absolutely nothing. But if your number 5 is Lich, he's still really quite relevant until a good late
he will get levels, but he will not get that much farm. Just because when you deny a creep, you're not getting money out of it, you're only getting experience.
But he's not dying as much, because he's keeping up in levels. That's the way I see it anyway.
The thing is, once you get to the late game, Lich Chain Frost doesn't do as much as one would want to, unless, of course, you got an Axe Scepter and a Veil and an Evelade.
It's sad.
But I don't think that.
I don't think I've ever seen that in a program. Like, no Lich in a 5-roll has that much farm. And if you do and you haven't won the game, then shame on you. That's pretty much how I feel.
Oh, a Doom.
So they've picked up 2 heroes that more or less just delete Lifestealer from the game. I mean, if you get doomed on a Lifestealer,
it's a sad
you
time.
can't really fight, because people often forget this, but the hero is very fragile without 2 or 3 core items. Like Armlet and Drums is very standard, because it gives you armor. The toggle from Armlet gives him the health he needs to sustain in team fights against physical damage, which is really important, because that's where Weaver actually excels. Once he gets like 2 or 3 items himself, he becomes more or less impossible for a Lifestealer to deal with on his own. He's going to need his teammates to help him out in that. So if you have a Doom, you can just Doom the Lifestealer. You can choose to ignore him at that point if you really want to, and just try to kill all the supports, because the Lifestealer can't stay in the fight anymore. You know there's no damage. So you can kill the supports, and then by the time the Doom's off, he's like, my team's dead. Now I can't do anything.
That's
and Satan is here.
And Satan is here. You know
Doom's awesome.
You know, I think it's really strong, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And the answer is Venomancer. But before going to Venomancer, I want to show this new screen that we have here, which looks really ugly. I will admit it, because I did it yesterday at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
They're very brightly colored boxes.
Yes, so if someone has a suggestion.
Explain the...
Okay, so what we see here is, in this case, Alliance, and how they perform when they play in a combination of first pick, second pick, Radiant or Dire.
So top left is when they're Radiant and first pick, they have 100% win rate.
Yes. And I think that was the case in this game. No, it was second pick. No, it was second pick. So they had 75%. But I'm really surprised, because I wanted to bring this for Alliance. What is it with first pick and Dire about them? Granted, I think it's 3 games or something like that. It's 1 and 2. But still, it feels...
that's only in this tournament.
Yeah, that's all. No, not in this tournament. In this patch, 679. I thought it was pretty pointless to talk about previous patches, because the way lanes changed.
Yeah, of course. That's crazy.
It's not that much of a difference. But yeah, I guess I wanted to discuss this strat, because if you're playing against Alliance, you just make sure you get second pick Radiant, and you win the game.
Alliance's turn
Agreed.
to pick.
But let's also consider the following, that Alliance, they did not play their best last game.
No.
I don't think that their being first pick Dire really had anything to do with the reason why they lost. And they're taking a...
This is a little bit sadder.
Yeah, this is a transition. I mean, the colors just look sad. I mean, if you're second pick and you're Radiant, you just leave the game straight away. There's no way.
There's nothing. They were first pick Dire this time.
Yeah.
So I think that's their best shot.
It is actually their best shot.
Amazing. It's like they studied what they do. It's like, we might be able to win.
Yeah. Well played.
But yeah, going back to the Venomancer, because I just wanted to say, I didn't know how to segue into this little segment right now. But Venomancer, I think he's really strong right now. Just this new buff to the wards, it makes it that there's so much damage going around everyone all the time.
A fun hero.
It's just scary. And now, wow,
the happy man.
We got the Storm Spirit, which rumors has it that he's not going to look like a fat jolly man for much longer.
I think it fits.
I'm sure you've seen the models.
I really
for
do.
it, haven't you?
What?
Have you seen the new models for Storm Spirit?
I can't say I have or haven't.
You're talking to him like you have.
No, I'm not saying
that's like the tone that indicates, well, I've seen it, so surely you must have seen it.
I'm going to place the heroes really quick into the lane. What do you think, guys?
My
quickly,
friend Blitz, key hero in Storm Spirit. If you give him Blitz, he never loses. If you give Storm Spirit to Blitz, he never loses.
Yeah, but they don't have Blitz. But we are inside the game now.
Yep.
So we're going to see the lanes take shape here in just a second. But the thing that I want to mention about Storm, which is really important, is that it gives the Doom another target to have to think about dooming. Which, on paper, you're like, okay, well, he's going to get doomed, so what? But if he doesn't doom either the Lifestealer or the Naga or the Storm, suddenly the Doom becomes a lot less potent. Doom is really strong in situations where you're running a solo core, because you just doom the one core, and it's like, well, the rest of the team kind of falls apart at that point. Now VP have a lineup where they have potentially 3 targets that you want to take out of the fight. You don't want Song to come out. You don't want to give the Storm an opportunity to initiate or run away, so you want to doom him. And you want to doom the Lifestealer too, because he's the one who's going to stand there and do a majority of the damage for VP. So I do actually like the fact that they picked Storm in the situation, and he's likely going to be going against a Bat Rider, which honestly isn't that bad for a Storm. He can push the wave very heavily, and honestly diving onto a Storm Spirit is very difficult because Remnant is such a low cooldown nuke, and Bat Rider's attack range isn't that great. So you have to stand pretty much right on top of it.
So you will connect that Remnant every single time.
So do you think VP is well enough to here that they could beat Alliance if they play to their best?
I think both teams are about equal. I'd say Alliance are going to have a bit of an early game push going on. Of course, they have a Chen, but it looks like at the moment the Chen could potentially be going aggressive here. And we could be seeing a dual offlane as well coming out from VP. So an aggressive Chen versus a 2-1-2 seems a little bit weird, honestly. I mean, Ake is going to be helping out the Doom here in the top lane, which is an offlane Doom with boots, which
How does
I
that
did
work?
not see coming.
How does that work?
I mean, I'll be totally honest, there were a lot of things I had in mind. This was not one of
oh,
them.
he gets the first deny even.
He had a little chuckle to himself there too.
Learn to play.
Mighty money.
Blow your brain. And blow your brain. He's the carry, the de facto carry of this team, BP. Hasn't been performing that great, but most importantly, he put Light of Heaven back in that offlane role, which fits him so much more. I think this is a win for Virtus.Pro right now. The way they're playing right now, they have players.
Oh, gee. He's caught out of middle lane. He's already got through the sticky icky. Oh, another Remnant coming out from G. He really wants to try to go for the kill, but he just simply can't do it. And S4 is going to be able to secure himself a first blood. So we talked about the aggressive Chen seeming a bit weird, but it wasn't to help the Doom. It was just to make sure that Storm didn't have a good start.
That was pretty sad for Storm.
I mean, he played that as well as you could have asked him to.
Yeah.
He almost killed S4. But in that situation, and that wasn't even a good creep. It was just a satyr.
Arsard.
He's running into Ake. Ake is level 2 now. He will have a nuke when he gets to the high ground. Arsard's like,
needs
oh
another
god. He needs to fog and potentially go for a Nova, but I think
now he can
he
kill.
dies.
That you can zap.
It's a 93 test of face as well. One of the highest you can get a level 1.
What the heck was Arsard doing there?
It's maybe warding.
No, he doesn't even have wards.
Maybe just going to say hi to his friend.
He's
Storm.
warded at the top there, look. Right by the top of the steps.
No, that's a
Oh, sorry, yeah, that's the other one.
ward
Yeah,
for Alliance.
Maybe he was preemptively checking the rune. I don't know, man. I'm just.
That was a
throwing
really
ideas.
early rune check, if that's what it was, because it was about 1:30 and
Guard the rune for me for 30 seconds on your own in the river, please.
It's not like a
Yes,
Crystal Maiden can't do
sir.
much at the beginning either. So yeah.
well, the thing is, as soon as he got shockwaved, he could have bit the satyr and ran, and there would have been no second shockwave, and there probably would have been no chance of killing because he had tangoed, and a level 1 test of faith doesn't do much. I think it's like 50 to 100.
Oh, nice flame break.
Gee, stuck on the low ground.
Yeah.
No mana on S4 though. Well, he has a regen. Wait, you gotta chase that.
Nah.
Well, he's 290
fine.
base move speed. He is really slow, actually.
Also, he wants a lot of creep waves. And now NS is coming to this middle lane to help this Storm. You think this actually works? Because the snare is nice and all. It means that S4 will not be able to chase. But at the same time, yeah, he's leaving right now. I don't think Storm really can afford just getting some experience to a support here.
Well, I think it's just being there to soak the experience while G's not there.
Oh,
Oh
no.
man, very nice
G.
flame break by S4. Committing to this is still dangerous. G pops the
kill.
wand. He
He
does
can
the
kill.
overload. S4's
Oh,
gonna
wow.
drop. And this
Is
is
he?
what I was talking about with the
Yes.
dive.
Wow.
Oh, brilliant play there by G.
Altitude adjustment.
He waited until the last second there.
I was saying it, man. You
Because
can't,
he
you
got that
can't
bottle.
tower dive a storm like that. It's
Yeah.
bad. It just doesn't work.
Did he have a regen rune a minute ago? Is that what it was?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
regen back up to full. He
That's
saw G
huge.
come back to the lane, tried to push his advantage a little bit too much, and gives a kill back to G, which is huge
Yeah.
for Virtus.Pro because S4 was over-leveled comparative to him. So when you
Oh,
give a kill
nice.
away like that, he's got Surge. He'll be fine. But when you give away a kill to a hero who's lower level than you, it puts them back into the game in a very, very big way. And he even
Yeah.
got salved up by his teammates, so
Nice.
he doesn't even have to back.
Now G getting this lane back to where it belongs. He's 13-1, dead even for both. The only advantage that S4 is that his kill was a first blood.
Yeah.
It means he has a little bit more gold. And now he's going again on G.
S4 doesn't have a whole lot of mana though. NS is nearby. They might just kill S4
nice.
again. He's got a pull. He turns around, uses it.
Oh,
it's going to be
wow.
another kill for G.
That's
And
huge.
S4 is playing this so aggressive. He doesn't have any high ground ward. The only ward he has at all is in the top lane, and he couldn't see anything. Like that was uncharacteristic of S4 to go for that.
And G is now level 6, meaning you won't be able to kill him. There's just no way the Bat Rider can dive in anymore. Because G will be able to just zap and zip away.
Zip, zap, zoop.
And now the problem is, if NS is sitting anywhere near mid, they can actually catch S4. Because if you get pulled, basically, into an ensnare,
they want
you
to
just
go
die.
Yeah, this
there's
Doom
Ace.
is
Bulldog. Bulldog is on level
sitting
6.
Doom's level 5. G, running,
Radiant's
thinking
top
about running
tower
behind the
is under
tower,
attack.
getting a little bit more mana from
They
his
see
bottle.
him now.
Yeah, they spotted him. They just wanted to wait for Arsar to get closer. Bulldog, he pops the Scorched Earth. He's going to regen a little bit. Is it going to be enough? Frostbite comes out, and the open wounds.
He's level
Bulldog
6
staying
now.
alive for a very long time, but will eventually drop. And Arsar, he secures the kill for his team.
Wow.
Virtus.Pro looking to push a tier 1. There is a catapult here. Alliance going to be forced to glyph. In the meantime, Midas now done to blow your brain.
Is it good to have a Midas and Lifestealer? I mean, of course it's good, but when you have a Weaver, we talked about this hero on and on about how he doesn't become online until much, much later into the game. Maybe if the Lifestealer decides to go for early game aggression, they can make a difference to the point where Loda will not be able to catch up. Do you think still going Midas and going a little bit more greedy is fine?
I do. I think it's okay in the situation because you're against a greedy team too. So in a way, it's the 6.78 style of play where you just try to outgrade your opponent.
Radiant's top
But we
tower
mentioned it
is
last
under
game too.
attack.
Lifestealer just really doesn't need that much to be dominant.
Yeah.
Especially against heroes like Venomancer, Doom, and Chen.
GM.
EGM's going to throw out the Gale. NS, he's going to get surged forward, has the Ion Shell, and snare on EGM still. Here comes G.
Wow.
No kill secure for him, unfortunately. NS picks it up. And Virtus.Pro are just all over the place. And Alliance right now, during the early game, they seem to be on the back foot. Ake has made the transition back to his own jungle. And even though he managed to help his team secure 2 kills very
Dire's
quickly,
middle
they're
tower
all the
is
kills they
under
have up
attack.
until this point.
They're going to get this tower too, probably.
Oh, Bulldog's here.
Dooms.
He's going to throw
But
out
Dooms-
Doom.
Oh, now it's a lot of...
He wants to go for the deny, I guess. Nova comes out from Arsard. Boyerbrain needs
Arsard.
to be really careful. EGM going for the deny.
Wow,
oh, he doesn't get it. No damage.
Arsard.
Arsard gets the tower. Sacrifices himself. Boyerbrain's going to be dropping as well.
Was it worth it?
2 kills.
Hashtag worth?
I don't know,
Was
that's,
that worth it?
that's close to me. I would dare say it wouldn't be worth it. If they can kill Loda, though, that would be worth it.
The thing is, that would be gold for Doom. Well, that'd be it's 200 and something gold for everybody, isn't it? So is it worth more in gold terms because it
Oh,
goes to-
Loda.
I'd have to do
So
that.
close.
Those wand charges, man.
Those one charges saved his life, and now he has to go back, and that's a win. Because Lifestealer died top. Loda didn't die bottom, but having to go back, as you said before in the last game, you don't lose the gold, but you do lose the time.
Oh, Arsard.
Not enough.
Optimistic.
TP attempt.
It was decent. And Aki, when you get the level 3 test of faith, it's sorry, level 2 test of faith because it's not.
EGM, bottom lane. Might have Heaven and us both here.
Fails the ward block.
No TP just yet. Yeah, the ward block not quite on point, and EGM's going to be dropping here. Karate chop from Light of Heaven, some hand-to-face combat. No big deal.
Hand-to-face combat.
Yeah, that's what he calls
That's what he
it.
says.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I have a T-shirt. This is foot-to-face combat.
Well, he karate chops people.
Yeah, he does.
Yep. That's.
I mean, if you look at him,
Tough.
he looks very top-heavy, so I don't think he's going to be kicking many people.
Good
No,
call.
no, no,
He
no,
might
no.
topple over.
But that shoulder strength is still there. G has been rotating all around the map. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if this is the right call because he's not getting any farm. And if you look at the Bat Rider, he was more passive into the lane. He's 10 kills, 10 creeps ahead of him. But he's been finding kills here and there, pretty much in all 3 lanes.
It's hard, though, because he
Oh,
has to be the
jumps.
space creator. He goes on EGM. G running really low on mana. He's only got 1 point into Overload. The Chen heal comes out, enough to force G back. He does have a haste rune, so the Gale's not going to keep him in place. And EGM is just going to salve back up and be just fine. So honestly, using that much mana and being forced to pop the haste rune, that's a small win for Alliance, but it's still a win.
Yep. Now they want to change
Still
this.
quick.
He has a haze rune.
Yeah.
You know what's weird that I want to mention is that G actually skilled 4 points into Vortex.
Yes, that's.
You see a lot of people
so
only go
unusual.
3, and then because you go Treads, in his case I'm assuming he's going to go Overload, because if you go for Remnant you get Arcanes instead. So I'm really just not used to seeing this. If he had another point into Overload, it's 20 more damage per auto that you use. I think he would have killed EGM.
Crazy idea.
Yes.
This is to extend the stun duration.
Extend.
Yes.
We missed the extend out.
I
We do
really,
miss
really
it.
want the
Please
extend.
bring it back, Rock.
Yeah.
Please, Rockat, we love the extend. To extend, prolong the stun duration in order to secure the kills on the Weaver. Because you want as much stun lock as possible against the hero.
No, it's true. I'm not saying that it's bad or anything. It's just weird because it's
kind of
0.5
bad.
seconds
Oh,
per
it's
scaling.
S4.
S4 gets caught out in middle lane. Arsard's going to be here. Firefly
Oh,
pop.
jibs.
Teleport coming in from Bulldog. Is he going to try to go for this? Doesn't look like he has enough in the tank. He did have Doom, but I mean, it was probably not going to be enough to kill G.
Would have been a spite doom.
I want to use a phrase that so 2012. That mana management on the Storm Spirit. You remember there was this time where all the commentators were obsessed.
Mana management.
Mana
I never
management.
was.
It's just a tempting phrase to use. Mana management.
Mana management in the Storm.
You know,
That's
the
what
only
breaks.
mana management that you need to do is making sure that you ball properly to Vortex and auto-attack between all of your abilities.
Oh,
That
blow
is
up.
the mana management. He's going to pop the Rage.
And he's
Gets
doomed.
Doom straight after the fact. Ake with the creep
Oh,
army.
wow.
Mass blocks. Goodbye,
Yikes.
blow your brain.
Oh, 1 second left on Infest as well, where he could have got
Well,
into
he
the
was
creep.
He was
doomed.
doomed.
Oh, quite right. I wasn't
Yes.
paying attention.
It's fine. G is carrying this team.
Well, he's going to try. He
How
pops
long-
a double
how long
damage.
can that go
oh,
on
man,
for?
he might spot S4.
If he spots
S4 is going to be going back towards mid. Arsart's here, too. I think they just dive him. They see 3 top. G is kind of wandering around right now. He's looking for somebody.
Maybe
Oh, he is anticipating
wow.
the creep camp.
Wow.
Big call by G. He could go
What?
for this, but no, he pops Firefly. He sees
Oh,
G
he
now.
wasn't-
He had his time, but now it's come and gone, unfortunately.
Oh.
So
I think he was scared that the napalm revealed him, which I don't think it did.
No,
no, it didn't. But S4 knows he's there now because he's Fireflied, and that gives flying vision, of course, because you're in the air. So close.
Dire's top
G
tower
almost
is
went for like the
under
next level play, and then
Yeah.
got previous level by his
Yep.
own next level, which is like really crazy.
Damn. And Loda rotated top, so he's now trying to contest farm with that Life Stealer. Maybe get to push
They
the
should
tower.
get this bot tower.
But Life
here.
Stealer, Light of Heaven, not Life Stealer. Light of Heaven has a mech right now. With that
Radiant's
mech, they
bottom
can
tower
maybe
is
engage
under
the fight
attack.
up. We'll see.
Blink on that.
Radiant structures
Oh,
are
blow your brain,
fortified.
realizing, oh god, there are a lot of people here still. Team. That's what I would be saying right now. Team.
Team.
Radiant's
Well, team
G
is
gets
pushing
the bottom.
tower.
Yeah.
Yep.
fallen.
Nice.
Well, my team wouldn't do this, but I'm just saying, like,
A team.
in general, if you're a competitive team, typically you punish people for being out of position or extending a stay in a lane. And right now it looks to be more or less dead even. I would say with the Life Stealer, the farm that he has, even though he's sitting at about 83 CS, which is 20 more than the Weaver, he's also died twice.
Yep. And he's going for drums first, I think. Or at least as a Razor, instead of going straight. Yeah, drums first.
S4. He's going to find Blow Your
Can he kill
Brain.
him? Oh,
Ake's nearby.
yeah.
This could be bad. Ake might actually just die for this. He's not going to go in, though. He's just going to run. He gets netted.
Oh, nice.
Centaur
Done.
bonk.
But not enough.
Well,
Well, maybe he just didn't know if there were more there because he didn't have a ward at that particular point.
You know what Ake should have done? He should have sent just one creep, knowing that Lifestealer was going to infest it, send back home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have a 33% chance, I guess, of getting the right one if you do it straight away. And you know what's funny about that is he realized immediately what he had done. He's like, oh, crap, the Chen's just going to send it back, and he just gets out.
Like, nope, I can't stay here any longer.
And that's chilling in bottom lane. He's going to be running into Ake here in a second. And Loda wants to try to go for a kill. At worst, they make him use Song here, and then he can just
I
walk
think
away.
he'd die. Okay.
Oh, Loda has no mana. But they
Oh.
didn't look at him. He had no mana at all. They could have killed him.
No, well, they didn't have G. They need G to kill him.
No, they didn't need G. All they have to do is ensnare. He couldn't even Shikuchi. Like, he just got mana to Shikuchi now with his wand, and that was a good, what, 10 to 15 seconds of regenning? They could have killed him very easily.
wow.
Both teams playing a little bit passive. I can understand Alliance playing passive because they just lost, but this is VP's potential first game of the day. So,
But maybe they're also kind of worried.
And the Doom is happy because the score is 6-6.
Yes.
oh, Bulldog. He's actually 2-1 right now, level 9. Okay, getting caught out. Pulls there.
Yo,
Doom
Doom.
onto G. Light of Heaven's here. Pentagon gonna be
G.
used. Light of Heaven's already used the mech though, so G just dies.
Wow.
Ake's in a killing spree, and here come Alliance. They want to chase this out. NS does not have Song anymore. Riptide
Bulldog.
doing a whole heck of a lot of no damage. Arsart,
what-
he gets
what are
flame
you
break
doing?
during his TP. And he's going to be the next one to fall. They're continuing to chase as well. Loda.
Loda.
He wants to go for NS. He's going to get ensnared. Still has time lapse and
Oof.
now has lots of mana, fortunately for him. That was a really awkward stay in the enemy woods. You've already used Song.
Yeah.
And Alliance know that because Loda was like, hey, they just decided not to kill me. Awesome. I'm just going to do something else, like kill them instead. So,
Sounds like a plan.
I mean, VP, I would have said before that they were
Oh,
still looking
Doom.
pretty good.
Doom is being
He
cheated.
doesn't have Doom.
No.
Doom
that's
does
a
not
GP.
have his name, apparently. But he's really fast, and I don't think they can kill him.
Not
He
only
can kill him.
fast, he's tanky as well.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't
Radiant's
have
top
much
tower
armor, he
is
still
under
has a lot
attack.
of HP and the regen from
Yeah,
his
that
Scorcher.
regen is awesome.
Regen, saving lives since 1993.
It's crazy, man. 30 regen, bottom lane in the meantime.
Oh,
NS
the
potentially
boom.
getting caught out. Double vacuum comes as well. NS going to be dropping the mech. Loda could be in trouble as well. He's already time-lapsed. He might be dropping too.
Wow.
They don't even get NS.
Careful, those wards.
Oh man, the
NS
Gale's
can-
going to tick.
Yeah, those things
Oh
are
no,
a
it's level 1
pain.
Gale. Doesn't do any damage.
No, it's just
It's just the wards.
The ward stick, yeah.
Top
S4.
lane, S4, he sees.
He's with Ake.
He's
If he gets him,
if he pulls him straight down right now, he can go for it. But I don't know if they have enough damage. Before, they tried this, and he just infested and left the creep straight away.
But this time they might be able to send it home.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be hilarious.
It's happened before. It happened to
does
Host, I
Ake
think.
have an annoying creep?
Well, he has the
He has the annoying
harpy,
creep.
the
Neck
troll,
creep?
and the centaur.
Net creep, stomp creep. What does the harpy do?
The harpy?
Lightning.
It's the most annoying.
Chain
Chain
lightning.
lightning.
Man.
Chain lightning, 4-second cooldown, 50 mana, has 540 mana. Wins lanes.
Yeah, you walk
Really?
into the lane. Yeah, what you
Yeah,
do
yeah.
is if you get one straight away, you walk it to mid, and you just start chain lightning spamming because it's like 1,000 range.
Oh, jeez.
So you can just sit there and blast the guy in mid, and you're just like, it's happened to me before, and
Initial
I
damage
just want to
140.
quit.
Middle tower is under
Bulldog gonna get caught, throws out the
Dooms.
Doom. Frostbite's gonna be there from Arsar. Blow your brain, can't commit to this fight anymore, has to leave. Here comes S4 though, he's like, you can't leave. Throws at the lasso, gonna be able to get the kill.
Arsar
Arsar
is
gonna be dropping as
gone.
well. Like, no way he gets away from that. And bottom lane in the meantime, we're gonna see a counter push, and G manages to get a kill mid. And G is taking a heck of a lot of damage from this ulti. Just look at how many dots are on him right now. He might actually, oh
Nice
no,
fight.
he's not gonna go down. That level 1 Gale. Oh,
Doesn't do
S4
anything.
flame
Oh,
break!
wow.
Oh,
Would
12
have been
HP.
funny if you threw it to
Into
Roshan.
Roche, I
And
thought he was
Roshan is
gonna
like,
do that.
punch you.
Yeah, that would have been
Just
really
one
cool.
punch.
They want to chase though. They're going to potentially find NS. Again, if they make
Pop
him
the song.
it's still going to be really good.
Yeah.
The one danger though is that if he songs under the tower, then they could potentially turn it around. S4, he's out of mana.
What?
Light of Heaven's going to spot him.
I don't know.
He
man.
doesn't have enough for Firefly. He has
can
one
blink,
wand
but
charge.
He can't blink
He has
now.
one wand charge. Oh, now he has 2. Now he can wand and fly to the high ground. Yep, there we go.
Wow.
Light of Heaven.
Just in time.
Going to be able to escape. I mean, he kind of had to use Ion Shell there to even try to get the
Yeah.
kill. But it might have been better to actually surge the Naga instead to ensnare. Who knows? Hard to make those calls in that position.
10-9 is the scoreboard. Alliance is a little bit ahead in terms of kills. In terms of last hits, Loda is not getting nowhere near as much as the Lifestealer, but that really is expected of the Weaver, that doesn't farm as fast. Weaver went for Midas as well, so she's going the greedy build and probably building
Dire's middle
Linkets.
tower is under
What
attack.
does this Weaver need to actually start being annoying? Wouldn't you think that maybe going for an Orchid on the Weaver would work in this scenario, just because you have G there?
I mean, it could. If you know that the other hero is going for a straight Orchid as well, which Storm is.
Don't they want to get damage on him? Like Deso?
Well, the problem
Nightfall?
with Weaver is that if he gets caught out straight away, there's nothing he can do with just a damage item because you can't kill them if you're dead.
Right. Good
Which
call.
is kind of what
Dire's
happens when you're
middle
against an
tower is
Orchid
under
Storm.
attack.
Mental note.
Yes. So, Alliance, they're pushing the mid-tier 1.
Dire's structures
They're going to get it.
are
I mean, they do
fortified.
glyph, but there's no potential. Well, maybe there is potential defense coming out. They're kind of just walking back. I don't know. That was really weird.
They thought the wars were going to do it.
Virtus.Pro, they smoke. They want to try to find somebody. It could be Bulldog.
They're going to catch Bulldog.
I
here.
think it's going to be the best person to initiate on. He's going to die before he gets to do anything.
Wow.
Even the Hand of God was there. I think it
Was
might have been
late.
a little bit late.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think it actually hit him. Defensive Centaur Stomp coming out. Loda looks like he wants to try to
Here
engage
comes
into
the
this
song.
song. It's going to hit everyone. Now they get
What
to...
do you do? Is it blocked?
They're blocked. They kicked it down the ramp. Oh, S4, he goes for the counter initiation. Bulldog, he bought back into the game. He's going to go on Blow Your
man.
Brain.
That was awkward.
That's unlucky.
Oh, man. You know, I really like that because they exploited the song by giving Bulldog time to buy back. And that creep block on the ramp, man, next level.
That was like, guys, come on, let's. I can't. Come on, let's go. I can't move. Well, kill the center. Not enough time.
Can't do it.
That's why you got to build hands and money on everybody when you're up against champ.
And facewoods.
Yeah.
Well, the
Eat them
Lifestealer, his Midas is off cooldown when you're dead, which is like the worst feeling in the
Oy.
world, by the
Yeah.
way. I think a little bit of me dies inside every second that I can't use a Midas because I'm dead.
Yeah.
What a
And-
game. What is with the hands of Midas, man? Even Bulldog has a Midas now.
Money's awesome.
Money is awesome, and you know what's crazy is that Doom is level 12, and he's got Midas drums. If you look at the item progression, the Lifestealer is barely ahead of him. Like, that's kind of crazy to think about.
Well, he's 0-4.
Yeah.
So
It's been a sad time.
Well, this is what I was talking about, too, is like, when you are a core and you get doomed, all your farm does nothing. Like there's actually nothing you can do about it. So you either have to buy a Linken's, or you have to make sure that your team is the one who initiates for you and infests inside of the initiator, which is G. And then G's going to get doomed. And then G's just going to die because you can't do anything. So the best case scenario is a hero gets doomed, you kill whoever you initiate on, and then you song straight away to try to, you know, circumvent the doom. But it's really hard to execute it that way because NS has had to use his song in different ways. And that time, it was unavoidable because Bulldog had died first, so they think, oh, we're fine. And then Bulldog buys back during the song, which is hard to notice when you're panicking that you can't walk down a ramp. So overall, Alliance playing a bit better, I think, this game than did against EG earlier, and VP have their work cut out for them.
Now, with the Lifestealer not going with things in this way, they just got a 19 minutes
What are we zooming in on a map bug?
armlet, which is not really that good.
No.
It all feels like it's on God's shoulders right now. Now God, he can neutralize one person easily. He can jump and maybe get a kill on the Weaver with some help. Also a kill on the June. But at the same time, now that he completed his Orchid, will this change anything for VP? Will they have the upper hand? And more importantly, do you use it?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Alliance, they know. They know what's going on. The Aegis would be huge for VP, by the way, because Storm is one of the best heroes in the game to give an Aegis to. Because unlike a lot of other heroes who are really tanky and the rest of your team dies around you, Storm can get out of the fight. Or he can just go in the fight really hard. So giving it to an initiator like that who can also semi-carry, one of the best Aegis holders in Dota. And I think that if he gets an opportunity to get that Aegis, they can take a fight in a big way. But Alliance, they know what's going on. They're like, we know your tier 2 is dead. You could potentially go for a Roshan, but it's risky.
Yeah.
And even though you're killing our safe lane tier 2, we're going to do the same to you and force you to either take the fight or go to Roshan, which VP have a very slow Rosh team. Well, both teams do, actually.
But at the same time, VP has Naga Siren, which is amazing at defending Roshan. They also have
the Freezing
Crystal
Sphere
Maiden,
as well,
which
yeah.
if you stand up properly during Roshan, you can do a ton of damage before they can even see you. And they have the vacuum, which means that they can zone people inside and outside of the Roshan pit when they want.
Wow, S4.
Okay, this is interesting.
He's going in for the initiation. He definitely wants G. I don't think he goes for the Lifestealer here. It's too hard to get that kill. We'll see who he goes on. The Napalm's there, so Virtus.Pro have to know about this initiation. Oh, he gets Blow Your Brain. G backed up, and now Blow Your Brain is just dead to rights. There is absolutely nothing they can do for him. Arsart, he's going to try to TP away. No flame break, so he'll be able to escape. And Hasterin going to be popped by G. He's like, I'm not even going to take my chances. I just want out. And they kill the Lifestealer again. Now he is 0-5.
That's the saddest Lifestealer. Oh, NS will die
He
here.
wants to go on Ake. No, G's here to back him up. And NS might still drop. He's taking so much damage from the Centaurs. He uses the
Kill
Force
those
Staff.
Centaurs.
Eat him.
That gold.
Bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Revenge. Ha. You tried to kill me. Silly Centaur.
Good role playing.
Well done.
I try.
But I don't think Naga Siren actually sounds like that.
Well,
What,
he has
with
this
a heavy
really,
Argentinian accent.
really annoying voice. Naga Siren. I really can't do it.
That was actually kind of good,
Yeah, that was
considering.
good.
I mean,
was
I couldn't have done any better as
feminine.
well.
Well, you can do a pretty good Mickey Mouse.
I can, but I'm not
Yeah.
going to do it
It's
because
so
I'll
high-pitched,
explode
I think it would-
everyone
No,
else's
I
ears.
want you to blow my ear. I want people complaining about the audio. So Mickey Mouse, please.
No.
It's
can't.
so it's just
It
because
has
it's
to be-
high. It's so loud. You know.
Yeah,
It's
it's
gotta
because
project it.
you have to belt it out. You can't just do like a. You can't do.
Mickey didn't hold back. He just let it rip. You got to go full Mickey.
You know what? I'll bet you
Yes.
the Mickey Mouse voice.
Yes.
They did it in a room and they turned him down.
You reckon?
I bet you that's how they did it.
Yeah, maybe.
Because how do you make a voice that high pitched
Maybe
without
he was
you
naturally
yelling?
high pitched. Maybe it was a she. Probably was a she.
That's like you mean with Bart Simpson and stuff.
I used to know the name of the person who did it, but now I forgot.
Who did
in my
Mickey
old
Mouse?
age. Yeah.
Wasn't Walt Disney the original voice of Mickey Mouse?
Really?
And then I think it
They
became
gave it to
someone
somebody else. Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
I can imagine him having this mouth. Like, no, it's not gonna work, Walt. We need something more friendly. But
I'm Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Minnie, come over here. Let's have a talk, you and me. Let's talk about the flowers and the weather.
Jesus.
Are those your chat lines for girls? Hey, baby, look at
I'm
these
like
flowers.
terrified of your
It's a
version
lovely
of Mickey
day.
Mouse.
And then they change it to the proper one. People were like,
Behind the scenes,
God.
yeah, when he's on, he's like, hi, everybody. And then he's like, oh, that was a tough day.
Roshan, Virtus.Pro. They're going to get revealed. S4, he wants to go in. He gets ensnared straight away. NS, he doesn't actually land with the Riptide, so Blink is off cooldown. NS still has Song. And they're going to back out of the pit. They don't want to commit to the fight too hard. This is such a tense situation for both teams. Because if you're Alliance, it's too risky to go on the Naga because then you have a Storm and a Lifestealer who can run rampant over the team fight.
Right.
And because everyone is actually together now, that dynamic is really important to keep in mind because before Virtus.Pro are just getting picked off. But in a 5-on-5 engagement, it's much different. Doom doesn't work in the same regard. Sure, the hero still can't really do a whole lot, but if you use Song to offset it, then it's not that bad. And they still do have a mech, so... We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, the score's, well, fairly even. Who would, I mean, do you think one team's winning or do you think it's basically...
the
Alliance are slightly ahead. They're going to find EGM in the river.
Well, I think it was... No, I understand this.
Another late heal. Scarab's actually going to be off the mark. Bulldog, he wants to try to get a Doom on somebody, but he's going to find absolutely nothing.
He will find Blow Your Brain.
Oh, he's all by himself. His team is completely isolated from him right now.
Drums.
Oh, I don't think they actually catch him here.
He survives.
He's going to be able to get back to the rest of his team.
He's quick.
He is a liver.
He is a liver, and I'm a kidney. Wait, what?
What? Hello? Who's there?
You're the man, Bruno.
That's 4. He might find initiation of his own, but NS is standing right behind Arsard, so would have been a risky proposition to go on that. Load in the meantime, he secures the offlane tier 1. Although they lose EGM, it looks to be a tactical feed. So they get a tower for a support, and they manage to defend Roshan.
It's like, who wants a banana when you can destroy a tower?
Good old tack feeds.
A banana?
It's a banana. Again, let's not
he
go
calls
into...
Venno the banana.
Venno Mancer is a banana.
It's not a banana.
Banana Mancer? He's like a very unripe banana.
I don't know.
He has the banana shape.
By the way, I want to point out something really cool.
Oh, yeah?
Bulldog went Lincolns to give Lincolns to Lodo.
Yeah.
Oh, initiation. Anji, they're going to find him. Oh, immediate Song. This is exactly what they needed. Now they can reset the fight and try to go for it. If they want to go on Bulldog, they can. They need to be careful, though. Doom immediately onto G. The mech is there, but G has no way of living through this. Loda now, he wants to go for the dive. Blow Your Brain. He even gets scaled before the rage goes off, so he can't do anything either. It's going to be slow city here coming out from Alliance. They're not going to commit too far. Buyback from Arsart. They might be able to get to tier 2.
Without G, they can't defend this.
The thing is, you need to Orchid the Doom straight away. There is never a situation where that Doom should be able to go off unless your Orchid's on cooldown. So, in that regard, lucky from Alliance. Like, I mean, well, I say lucky, but it shouldn't have happened at all anyway. But now Alliance are looking to push into the tower, and tier 3 under siege in the bottom lane. No rebuttal just yet from the side of Virtus.Pro.
Well, nice.
To stop the ensnare. He had Lincolns on anyway, so they just wanted to break it, I guess.
Yeah.
And Bulldog doesn't have Doom anymore, but there's no Song either, and they're just fully committing to the racks. They're just going for it, man.
Oh, beautiful.
Vacuum in. Blow Your Brain. He wants to go on Admiral Bulldog, but he's so tanky. They turn around on EGM instead, ensnare onto AKG. He goes in the back. He finds Admiral Bulldog again, but he's going to get lassoed, and they turn around, and they just blast him. The right click on the side of Alliance so strong with that wolf creep. Now Blow Your Brain, he might be in trouble. Loda just doesn't really seem to be killable at this point in time. Lincoln's going to stop the ensnare. Blow Your Brain, he infests into a Centaur creep, but Ake's not there, so he can't send it back. Frostbite onto Loda, and Alliance are just going full dive right now. This is like the looming sense of, can VP really take fights anymore?
Yeah. When they had the Song up and they got the wall down, it didn't feel like a great time to go even then. Do you know what I mean? I never felt like they were in control.
It's ideal because you get the Doom before the Doom goes off, which is really what you want.
The Doom.
Yeah, and it's a double Lincolns on the Admiral Bulldog. He's going to turn around and Doom Blow Your Brain. He wants to man fight. Here's the counter initiation Song. He's going to walk back to base with a pentagram below his feet and say, I don't know what's happening. Light of Heaven? Maybe.
I'm gonna die.
Just deny him. Just deny him.
I'm gonna die.
Nah, he's
okay.
I lived.
I really wanted to see Light of Heaven just punch him right before he got to the well.
Lol.
I mean, how good would that have been?
Very cathartic. Cathartic.
Cathartic. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you had it. And now Alliance.
Who would you give these ages to? I say Aki.
Well, I would honestly give it to a support or S4.
What? Aki again. Okay, no, never mind.
No, they're going to give it to Loda.
Loda. This guy.
They have that little faith in him that with an Aegis and like 2 Lincolns on their team that he's still going to die.
Yep.
That would be a tall order, honestly.
Yeah,
when you have double Lincolns, time lapse,
and
And
Aegis.
they never go for you anyway?
Yeah.
Like, they haven't gone and loaded the whole game.
Nope.
They seem to just be going for EGM in every fight.
Yeah.
Well, they go on who they could potentially kill.
Jump
And
on
speaking
G,
of kill,
and G is gone.
yeah, rest in pieces. And S is there too, forced after the low ground.
He doesn't have a
Low
song.
Bulldog continuing to chase. No song of his people
He's
this game.
gone.
Gem on the ground, pull your brain, pick it up, drop the TP. Yep, bam, did it.
What'd you
Did
do
it.
now? Can't defend my tower.
I think what you do now is lose your base.
Yes, yes, that sounds like
I
a
think that's the
sensible plan.
likely transition.
Yeah. Transition into the lost base phase of the game.
Yeah.
Where did the tears come into place?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe after the game's over?
Probably.
You don't want to cry during the game, because then
I
it's...
thought VP were doing all right there for a bit, you know? It suddenly goes south for them in a big way.
It's a matter
Well,
of execution as well.
The Lifestealer got really destroyed this
Yeah,
game. Like,
he did.
every single engagement, it's like Doom, Lasso. What does he do?
Yeah.
I mean, he's 0-5.
Yeah.
He hasn't done a thing this whole game, and that's the kind of composition that Alliance picked around.
Yeah.
So, I had originally thought that if you're taking 5-on-5 engagements, having those three heroes, the Naga, the Storm, and the Lifestealer, all in close proximity, it actually makes Bulldog think about who he wants to go on, which on paper sounds great. But they never took real 5-on-5 engagements, and G, very ballsy of him, just goes in straight away. Boy, your brain gets doomed again. A nice vacuum, but this song actually stops all the damage. Arthur with a huge Crystal Maiden ulti, it's just not doing enough damage.
They managed to kill
Bulldog
Loda.
is forever, but he has an Aegis, so he can afford defeat at this point in the game. And I seriously expect that GG's to be coming out soon, because Bulldog
There we go.
actually can't be killed, and there we go.
Oh.
Looks like VP tap out.
Dire's middle barracks has
Not really
It's
surprising.
GG. BP. They did their best.
They did their best.
They certainly had a plan going into the game. They couldn't execute it, because if one of your legs is not entirely there, then your whole table falls off, or something like that. But the thing is that Lifestealer wasn't working.
They were like the three-legged dog in the dog race, is what you're
Right.
saying. No, I agree. And the thing that was really clever from Alliance here, too, is that if you look at what Doom does as a hero, he only really has to function in the sense that he takes a hero out of the fight. And that's all he had to do. Anything else that he got in the lane, any kind of farm, would have just been icing on the cake. And ultimately, he didn't even need it. Even though he did have a lot of farm, he had a Linken's and a Heart at the end of the game as an off-lane Doom versus a Crystal Maiden and
Pretty
the
decent.
Lifestealer. Not bad.
All right, guys.
Hey,
You enjoy
James.
that one?
How you doing? It was okay.
It was fun to see Doom used in an off lane, because almost everyone uses him in the safe lane every single time.
Yeah, I really like what you said. It's like you shut down the Lifestealer with two of the picks, the Batrider and the Doom, and then you're like, okay, the only threat is G, and G did amazing.
Yeah.
I would say in mid, he was very unlucky not to get the first kill, and then he came back and S4 actually kind of gave him a little bit too much. And when you go up against a Storm who only has an Orchid, get a couple of Lincolns, it shut him down in a big way. So
Surely did.
very tough for G to play there. So congratulations to Alliance. Today that means they've lost one and won one. VP unfortunately will lose their only game today. Before we go to break, I just want to mention for those guys who have entered, we did do a competition. You should have entered already for this ASUS motherboard, and it was at the facebook.com/ROG Nordic. It's also worth, if you want to, just to go there and like the page. I know that ASUS actually do competitions throughout the year to win. They've given like tickets to go to events like DreamHack in the past, and they've done various competitions as well. And the Good Studio, we actually started working with ASUS quite a while ago. The reason is, it's like whenever someone comes to us and says, we want to work with you, we have to have Trance test their product.
Yep.
Which normally means Trance, because I can't tell you about this motherboard. And so far, you would have had to have guessed the EG beat Alliance and Alliance to be Virtus.Pro, but Trance would have, he knows what's in this and he knows what it does. And Trance he loves ASUS now. He thinks they're really good. He's got like the laptop, he's got a little tablet thingy that I'm using. What else he's got? Yeah, he's got ASUS graphics cards, and he's also got like an ASUS monitor, which is his portal to all his girlfriends on the internet that he uses. So it's certified by Trance. That's good enough if you want to go onto the Facebook page and give it a like. But when we come back, we're going to be doing the post-game analysis of this one. I might not be doing some of the commentary. I just realized why I'm not a commentator last segment. And we're going to be moving into the last game of today. And it's going to be interesting, actually, after the last game today, guys, because it means after the final game, we're halfway through the league. 15 games would have been played out of the 30 after the next match, and it's going to be the American Civil War, Evil Geniuses against Team Liquid, up next.
Hi, I'm AP and I want to explain to you why the Kone XTD is my perfect choice for gaming Dota 2. With the 8200 DPI Pro Aim R3 laser sensor and the TDCU, it ensures maximum precision for farming your lane or hitting crucial skill shots. In addition, I combine timers for Roshan or even cooldowns by using Easy Shift, which adds a secondary function to each button.